Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Charles with the Exodus Logistics Learning Center, which encompasses Trucking 101, which instructs and shows people how to form a trucking company from a basics perspective, Freight Broker 101, Dispatcher 101, and of course the dispatching services through our carrier services. This video is specifically for the owner-operators out there who are either just receiving their authority and it has become active and they need assistance with load management, or those owner-operators out there who have had their authority, their MC authority in DOT for at least a year or more and are having trouble finding consistent loads. If you were to hire on or bring on a dispatcher or a load person, load management person to help you with your loads, what are the traits and the characteristics that you would have in that person for you to help you with those loads? I believe number one would be communication. You want to make sure that the channels of understanding and communication between the carrier and their dispatcher are so solid that nothing can come in between that, whether it's the broker and or direct shipper or anyone else for that matter. You as the owner-operator and your dispatcher should have a complete understanding of when a load is booked. Everything is understood, any special instructions, what's the rate, fuel surcharge, what is your break-even numbers, or what I should say, what are your break-even numbers, and then what's the percentage or the flat rate that the dispatcher is being paid. Is that coming out of the carrier side, or is it coming from the broker or the shipper side? So all these things are important in the relationship between a dispatcher or someone who's a load manager for you, the owner-operator. We here at Exodus Dispatching Services, we have a team of highly skilled and qualified load managers, dispatchers, whatever term you'd like to call us, here to service your needs. Our goal is to problem solve. Our problem solving skills are such that we find you good paying freight, consistent freight, and even to the point of dedicated freight over time. That relationship has to build over time towards the dedicated freight, but as we form relationships with the brokers and or direct shippers in an effort to get you better paying loads, then of course we will maintain those relationships with those brokers and direct shippers in the sense that as you run their lane, then we'll get you a backhaul back to that same lane, that, especially if that lane is a money-paying lane. It keeps you running, it keeps you busy. And we can set up a virtual, triangular, dedicated run, however you see fit. We specialize in three major equipment types, 48 to 53-foot flatbeds, or the skateboards, 53-foot reefers, and 53-foot vans. Now, we also deal with hot shots and sprinter vans and box trucks and things like that, but our main focus, starting out from a dispatching carrier services perspective, are the flatbeds, 48 to 53-foot, the dry vans, 53-foot, and the 53-foot refrigerated trailers, the reefers. We ask you to do a dispatcher agreement with us, and we also ask for a one-page profile. The purpose of the profile is for you, the carrier, the owner-operator, the truck driver, to let us know that what's the minimum cents per mile that you're willing to move your truck for to run a load, how much weight do you want to haul, because I know every carrier doesn't want to haul their max weight because of fuel prices. How many miles are you willing to drive? How long out do you want to be? Different things like that. So when we get the profile back along with the initial dispatcher agreement between you, the carrier, and us, the dispatcher, we will cater our load search according to your profile. So we give you exactly what you want, when you want it, and how you want it, which is the best way to build a relationship between the dispatcher and the carrier, in my opinion. We particularly prefer owner-operators with their own authority in DOT. And on our website, www.exodus dispatching and training, I'm sharing my screen here, our setup process to have our dispatching services is a kind of a simple online process. You go up to the home page here, and under carrier services, you have dispatch agreement and you have profile. They are both one-page online forms. They're easy to fill out online. You can do it on your phone while you're doing your reset or at a loading dock waiting to get offloaded or loaded. Click the dispatcher agreement. Up comes our dispatcher agreement page. Our percentage is 10% per booked load, and the 10% is coming from, it's not coming out of your pocket, it's coming from the broker side or the shipper side. So let me give you an example. If we found a load on the load board for $3,000, 10% of $3,000 is $300. So our job as the dispatcher is to negotiate the rate with the broker or shipper to $3,300. So we add our service percentage on top of what you're getting paid as a owner operator, so nothing comes out of your pocket. And then we get a new rate confirmation for $3,300 or more, of course. So on here, the dispatch agreement and profile. This is the dispatch agreement one page. It's an online form. Fill it out. Your carrier or trucking company name. Enter the name of your name or name of trucking company. List your MC, DOT, truck and trailer number in this line. Your address where you live, that's where you're based. City, state, zip, country, of course. Your email, your phone number. The little asterisks by each field, those are required. Okay, so we need those in order to identify you. Our terms, which is very simple here. A little line here for any comments you have. The date, which is required that you submitted this online form, and then consent. You check this box if you allow us as dispatchers, which I highly recommend, to complete the carrier packets and the rate cons on your behalf for you. The reason why I say I recommend that is because it speeds up the process from a times perspective. So while you're focusing on driving, we could be focusing on getting your next load, doing the carrier package for your next load and rate confirmation, as opposed to bugging you while you're driving to have you fill out a carrier packet and return that with your W-9, certificate of insurance, and MC authority letter, and the carrier packet itself, get that processed with the broker. So all that takes time, right? So allow us to do our side of the service and the problem-solving side, getting all the paperwork, the administrative things done for you. Of course, we're going to CC you in on all the emails so you actually see what we've done, and of course we also discuss things prior to submitting them to the brokers, because we want total and complete transparency, and we want our carriers to have an understanding of what load they're picking up, all the special instructions, so there won't be any unknown variables in any loads that are being picked up. So that's our goal, complete transparency. The carrier and the dispatcher are on the same page, and we are working with the brokers and shippers to get you good paying loads. So by checking this, you have consented that we complete the carrier packets and rate confirmations on your behalf, and then we have a field here where you can upload the documents that we're going to need. Those documents are the W-9, the MC authority letter, and the certificate of insurance. Those documents are common documents that are always required when we're doing carrier packets for brokers and shippers and rate confirmations. And then, of course, you sign that. I'll clear that, but you sign that and then hit submit. It sends an alert to the Exodus Logistics LLC email, and we'll give you a call from there and move from there. So that's part one. The second part is that profile that I discussed, where you identify how you want to run. So the carrier profile, you tell us what equipment type, what type of trailer do you have. So you may have a flatbed trailer, you may have a dry-van trailer, you may have a reefer trailer. What are your weight limitations? What is the most weight on your trailer are you willing to haul? How much money do you need to move your truck? In other words, what's the least cents per mile that you are willing to take? So depending on the equipment type, dry vans, $2, $2.50, flatbeds and reefers, $2.50, $3, depending on the region of the country. And which leads to the next section here. What areas of the country do you try to avoid? Like most people don't want to go west of the Rockies, or they want to stay between the Rockies and the Appalachians, or they don't want to go in the mountains, or they prefer not to go into tolls because of the cost, the added cost to their expense for running that load. So any other special instructions? Is there anything else you want your dispatcher to know? And then, of course, this one as well, you sign that, clear that, and then you hit submit. So the two initial online forms to get you set up with our dispatching service, our carrier services, our dispatcher agreement and profile. Again, under the dispatcher agreement, you will need to upload your W-9, MC authority letter, and certificate of insurance. If you are unable to do that on your computer or phone, you can actually email it to us too, but we need those forms prior to booking the first load for you. So again, if you are an owner operator with your own authority, DOT, MC, even if you are a new carrier and you're needing to get started, you just got your truck and trailer, you just got your authority, your IFTA, your IRP, or portion place, however you've gotten set up and you're ready to roll, and you just need to start getting loads, find a dispatcher to help you. Or if you're a seasoned person and you just need a little bit of assistance in those tough areas, you may have happened to taking a load to an area that you're having difficulty getting out of, consider Exodus Logistics Dispatching Services. We are here to provide a service for you. We're problem solvers. We look forward to working for you and working with you. Again, www.exodusdispatchingandtraining.com. Under the carrier services link, you have two sublinks, which are the online forms. One is the dispatcher agreement, and the other is the profile. We look forward to working for you, working with you. Hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.